Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Swinehart Field for tonight's Mac White contest between the visiting Blue Devils from Grosse Pointe South and the home team, Utica Chieftains. I'm Bob Boucher along with Pat Cavanaugh. And Pat, the Chieftains have a tall order in front of them this evening. The Blue Devils have only allowed 7 points so far this season.
They do indeed, Bob. Grosse Pointe South is coming in with a 3-0 record. First game, they beat Detroit Renaissance 45-7. In week 2, they beat Henry Ford 28-0. And last week, they trounced Mott 38-0. So this is a team that can certainly score a lot of points, but also only giving up 7.
Well, this is the quarterback for the Blue Devils, Ryan Downey. He throws a little pass in the flat out here, and it's complete. But the Chieftains were right there, and I don't think he gained a yard on the play. Back to the line of scrimmage.
Really nice pursuit there by the Chieftain defense. That was just a simple swing pass to number 27, Colin McKenna. Colin is a kid that we'll call his name a lot today. He's a 1,000-yard rusher from last year, so certainly has a lot of experience in the backfield, as is quarterback Ryan Downey, who's one of the captains on this Blue Devil offensive team.
So 2nd and 10 now from the Blue Devil 20-yard line. This is Downey again from the shotgun. He has some wideouts, sends a man in motion, gives to him, and he tries to go around the right end, and he does. It looks like he has enough for the first down over the 30-yard line.
First play from scrimmage, the left side of the defense did a really nice job of keeping contained and forcing McKenna nowhere and using the sideline as their friend. And on that play, unfortunately, for the Chieftains, wide receiver Patrick Doherty came in jet motion and received the end around and was able to get a substantial gain and a first down.
So the Blue Devils now, from their own 31-yard line, Downey brings him up again in the shotgun. He has 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. And he looks over here to the left. He has a man open. This is that Doherty again. And he may have gotten a yard, but good coverage there by the Chieftains.
Yeah, nice tackle right there by the defensive secondary safety Turner Tamati. That's a nice job of coming off on that bubble screen. Gagovic, the corner, was getting blocked, but Tamati was able to fill in there and make the tackle.
So it'll be a 2nd down and 8 now from the Blue Devil 33-yard line. Downey once again from the shotgun. He splits 2 receivers, actually 3 now, out to the right, and he looks that way. Throws quickly to Doherty again. Doherty fights his way to almost the 38-yard line.
Yeah, Bob, right there, the Blue Devil offense is just playing a numbers game. They put 3 receivers to the field, and the Chieftain defense had their corner who came up late, but there was a 3-on-2, and they just ran a simple out route. And by the time the receiver was tackled, it was a 8-yard gain.
So 3rd down and 3 now. The Chieftains would like to hold them here. Downey again from the shotgun. 2 split out here to the left, 1 to the right. And he gives to the only back. Oh, he slips there in the backfield. Did not get back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up a 4th down now. It'll be about 4th down and almost 5.
Here we see Jordan Hester, number 23, coming off the edge. He's an active linebacker who will blitz often, whether in the A-B gap on the inside or come around the edge on the C gap like he did there.
So it looks like the Blue Devils will have to punt. And going back to punt is number 8. Let's see who that is. That's Ben Gabrian. It's a good snap. He gets the punt away. It's high, end over end. Hits it about the Chieftain 30 and will roll out of bounds at the 33-yard line where the Chieftains will take over.
It's a nice job by the Chieftain defense. Gave up 1 first down, but next sequence of downs forced the punt and allows the home crowd and the home team to get the football. This is exactly what Coach Maruli's team wants to do, is get the ball back with good field position and hopefully put some points on the board and get some momentum here early.
So the Chieftains will take over now at their own 33-yard line. Oh, check that. See where they have it marked. And it doesn't look like they have moved the chains yet. Unless there was a penalty. Now the chains are being moved. Okay.
There are 2 penalties on the play.
Ah.
Substitution infraction. On the defense, that penalty is going to be a 5-yard penalty and a first down. I also have a sideline warning against Utica.
Okay. Well, that's a little different. I was about to say, Pat, we made it through the first series without a penalty, and good thing I didn't speak too soon. So Keene now brings him up from the shotgun, and he has one wide out to the left. And he's going to give it to the running back, and that looks like Wysocki, and it is. And he may have gained a yard.
It's a good job here by right guard Bryce Codles. He's a pulling guard, big boy, but he does a nice job of getting out, trying to kick out the defender there, and Wysocki's able to cut it up. Minimal gain, but it's nice to see the big boys up front pulling and getting some movement and kicking out.
So Keene now has 2 wideouts here to the right again from the eye, and he gives again. That looks like Wysocki, and he's still fighting, and he may have gotten up close to the 45. Let's see where they mark it. No, they mark it back at the 43-yard line. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and long, 3rd and 7 now for the Chieftains.
Yeah, Chieftains like to run the football, and particularly on 1st and 2nd down, and it allows them to set up their play-action game, and they do have some threats in the passing game, and junior quarterback Zach Keene has appeared to get better each week. Spent a lot of time in the pocket the past couple weeks of throwing the ball downfield, and we'll look to see more of that tonight.
So Keene, let's see what we have here. Is it a delay penalty?
Timeout.
Oh, a timeout.
Utica.
Okay, so Utica takes a timeout here with 3rd and long, and it looked like they were going to that pass formation, Pat.
Yeah, Christian Gegovic, number 2, was in the slot, and he's a kid they will try to get the ball to in a variety of ways, whether it be on a jet sweep, a seam route, a corner route. He's very athletic with a tremendous amount of speed, and he's Zach King's top receiver. But in addition to him, we'll keep an eye out for number 5, DeMarco Davis. He had a big touchdown a few weeks ago on a post route versus Grosse Pointe North. Another speedy guy who can stretch the field.
Well, I think the Chieftains sense this is a big 3rd down here early in the game. They'd like to keep the momentum going. Now the Blue Devils get back out here after the timeout, and we're ready to go. Keene from the shotgun. They're in that same formation. And Keene sends the man in motion. He's looking to throw. He's got a man over the middle. Oh, is it intercepted? Yes, number 17 for the Blue Devils. That's Scott Rosati, and he picked it off. And the Blue Devils will take over now at their own 35-yard line.
Scott Rosati makes a really nice play from his free safety position. Let's take a look at him coming off. Seeing Kesson up the seam, breaks in the ball very well, high points it, steps in front, makes the interception. And I was talking to head coach Tim Brandon before the game, and we were chatting about a few of his players, and he said Scott Rosati is one of the best defensive backs he has ever coached. And
well,
it's a testament to the player that Rosati is from the experience Coach Brandon has.
Absolutely. Downey now throws to his man here out on the right flat, and he's very close to a first down as the Blue Devils now are on the move with a pass play again.
Yeah, Bob, it's apparent what the Blue Devil offense is trying to do. They're trying to put the ball on the perimeter with quick screen passes, and they're going to rely on the perimeter blocking of their wide receivers. So it's going to be up to the defensive backfield to get off the blocks and fill the alley from the safety position to ensure that those passes are 3, 4, 5 yard gains and not home run plays.
Second and short. Downey, a low snap. He's looking long. He's got a man open. Oh, and just overthrows him. And that was a well-conceived play because he was open back there. So the Chieftains dodge a bullet here early. And that'll bring up a 3rd and short, about 1 yard to go still for the Blue Devils.
So as I said, they've been chipping away with the swing pass game or the bubble screens. Well, the play after that, the follow-up is going to be the home run throw deep. And the safety appeared to have his eyes in the backfield on the quarterback, and the wide receiver was wide open.
Well,
but Downey just overthrew him.
He was being pressured back there, too. Downey now from the shotgun again, gives to his back, trying for that first down. Looks like he has it over the 45 to about the 47-yard line, where the Blue Devils now move the chains. First down, but they're still in their own territory. The Chieftains now are going to have to try to stop this Blue Devil offense that seems to be on the move here.
We're going to see trips again to the wide side of the field.
Downey in the shotgun with the call. And he pitches to his back, and he's got a hole. Oh, and he fights across midfield down to the Chieftain 42-yard line. That'll be another Blue Devil first down.
Well, what they're doing there, they're putting trips to the field, and the outside backer, Hester, is staying in the box, and they're just playing a numbers game, blocking down, and they're pitching on the outside edge. Plenty of blockers up in front for the Blue Devils. And again, this is numbers football, and they're going to try and put the Chieftain defense in a tough spot by having fewer than them on the perimeter.
Well, they're really mixing it up with their play calling. Here comes a man in motion, and he pitches to him. This is number 13 trying to go around the corner over there on the right, and it looks like he may be close to another first down for the Blue Devils. Number 13.
Yeah, this is a play we're starting to see more often on Sundays. It's a jet sweep, but the quarterback just literally taps the ball right to the receiver coming in front of him, and it's just a quicker way to get the ball in a speedy player like that hand versus actual handoff.
So A.J. Benson picks up the first down for the Blue Devils, and now we have a penalty. That's marching it all the way down against the Chieftains here inside the 20-yard line, and we're going to have to find out what happened. I didn't see that, Pat. Did you see the penalty?
I did not see it, but it looked like it could have been a possible face mask. Anytime flag comes in late like that on a tackle, it could come down to face mask.
Well, you're right. They send the trips out here again to the left. He looks this way. This is Doherty again, and he's down to about the 6-yard line. So the Blue Devils are marching on the Chieftains at the moment, and the Chieftains can't really find a solution to this Blue Devil offense as they're mixing it up with a lot of different plays here.
Yeah, quarterback Ryan Downey's able to just pitch and catch. He gets the ball out of his hands quickly and into the hands of the receivers on the perimeter. And again, nice downfield blocking by the Blue Devil receivers.
This time he sends number 4, Will Johnson, way out to the right. But from the eye, he gives it up the middle, and he finds a hole. He's over the 5-yard line down to about the 3. So the Blue Devils threatening here now. The Chieftains are trying to find a way to stop these guys as they ran that one up the middle. There we find something a little different again.
Well, Bob, it's a hot evening out here, and it's especially hot on the turf. So this is a pretty long, sustained drive by the Blue Devils. So hopefully the big fellas up front, the defensive line for the Chieftains, can hold their ground and sustain that line of scrimmage to prevent 6 points.
He's under center this time, Downey. He has Benson to the left and Johnson was split out to the right, but here again they try to go up the middle. And I don't know if they are close to that. Yes, they did get another first down. It's down to about the 1 yard line. So the Blue Devils now threatening to go into the end zone. Chieftains trying to find a way to stop them here. He sends Johnson split out to the right and Benson to the left from the eye under center, the first back through, and he bangs forward. I don't know if he got in or not. And they do call it a Blue Devil touchdown. So Pat, a very good drive for the Blue Devils here in the first quarter. They're showing a lot of talent as they're able to get in here for the 6 points.
Their game plan appears to be pretty specific. They want to get the ball in the receiver's hands on the perimeter, allow their wide receivers to block the defensive back, and then when they get in the red zone, they're going to run the football between the tackles. And they brought in their heavier set with fullback Colin McQueen, the big fullback who did a nice job of blocking and ultimately scoring the touchdown.
So Rosati now with the extra point, and it's good. And the Blue Devils take a 7-0 lead here in the first quarter over the Chieftains. 3:26 left in the first quarter. It's been all Blue Devils so far.
It's going to be really important for the Chieftains to put a nice drive together here and get some momentum as an offense. One player who has not got the ball yet is Christian Gegovic, who is their game breaker. And as I mentioned earlier, they're going to look to get him the ball in a variety of ways, and he's back deep along with Wysocki. And the Blue Devils will likely try to kick away from him to prevent him from returning any kicks.
So Grosse Pointe South ready to kick off here after scoring on the Chieftains in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Blue Devils. And here's the kick. It's high, end over end, not long. And he'll take it at the 10-yard line. Tries to cut up the middle, has a block, but the Blue Devils surround him. Oh, here comes a flag now into the scrum. And we'll see how that one shakes out.
Looks like it's going to be on the Blue Devils, which will be a nice benefit to the Chieftain offense.
So we're waiting for the call now as the Chieftains are in the huddle. Keene brings the play in from the sideline. But we haven't heard from the officials yet as far as where the ball will be spotted and what the penalty was. Personal foul. It looks like, against the Chieftains. Personal foul against the Blue Devils, so offsetting. So we're still waiting to see where the ball will be spotted. And it looks like they're going to march it off against the Blue Devils.
We have a personal foul. Hands to the face on the kicking team. During the return, block in the back. On the return team, replay the down.
They're going to re-kick it here.
Number 2 and number 13 back deep once again. For Chieftains, Christian Gegovic and Gabe Olszewski set to receive for number 17, Scott Rosati.
Well, the last kick, they did indeed kick it to Christian Gegovic. Oh, if you're the Chieftains, that's who you want with the ball in space, returning the football.
So Gegovic and Olszewski now are deep, awaiting the kickoff from Gabriel for the Blue Devils. Here it is. This one goes a little deeper. This looks like Olszewski will take it at the 5-yard line. He gets a block. He's coming up the middle to the 30, 35. And they're going to mark him out of bounds.
That's a really nice return, but it's an even better block by Kurt Kesson. Number 81, let's take a look at number 81, Kurt Kesson. He puts a nice pancake block on the defender here and allows a wonderful return. Outstanding job by the two-way player, Kurt Kesson. Not only does an outstanding job on offense and defense, but also special teams. He's a high motor kid who has a high probability of playing at the college level.
So the Chieftains start out with halfway decent field position from their own 33. First down now, Keene in the shotgun. He's got wideouts on both sides. Flooding the field, here we go. He throws it over here he's got it over the midfield stripe to the 40, the 45, and he's down to the Blue Devil 46-yard line where he stepped out. A great pass by Keene to find the open man out there on the left side.
Speed kills, folks, and this is exactly what Gegovic can do. They're going to put him here in the slot, and they run a corner route with a short route on the outside and allows Gegovic space and room, and a nice pass by Zach Keene right on the money.
And it looks like the Chieftains' game plan at the moment is to open it up. They have the wideouts again, almost the same formation. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Oh, 3 to the left. Let's see what Keene has in mind. From the shotgun, he's looking again and throws it the other way. This time he's got the man. Oh, he just overthrows him. He had his man beat, but Keene wasn't able to find the mark that time.
If you're in the defensive secondary for the Blue Devils, you have got to pay close attention to number 2. You need to be aware of wherever he's at, because there's a strong likelihood that he will get the pass thrown to him. He is Zach King's favorite target, and he's very difficult to cover.
And the Chieftains going without the huddle this time as Keene gets to play from the sideline from Coach Maruli. From the shotgun again, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 1 back behind him. Here's the snap. He gives to that back. Couldn't see who it was, but he's over the 45. Wysocki carries.
It's a really nice play by right defensive end, Nick Fannin. He runs the hoop really well, and he bends really well to make this tackle. Outstanding penetration, outstanding tackle there in the backfield.
Chieftains in a pass formation again. And they're sending the play in. Here it comes. Keene from the shotgun. And they try to hurry it up. I don't know if they got it off in time or not. Was that a delay? Illegal procedure against the Chieftains. I think they were trying to hurry up and got caught. So that marches the ball back to their own 49-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and about 14. So this sets up another pass play. They've got to go down to the Blue Devil 36 for a 1st down here, and the Chieftains really need to keep this going. Keene now brings him up again from the shotgun. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Now 3 to the left. And he looks long, deep over here onto the side. He's got it. And what a catch.
Tell you what, Bob, can't put the ball in any better place than that. That was right on the money. That was a great catch by Christian Gegovic, and they love that corner route. They're going to put him in the slot. He presses down the field at about 10 or 12 yards and breaks at the corner. And quarterback Zach King puts it only where Gegovic can catch it. 1st down for the Chieftains.
From the Blue Devil 29-yard line, no huddle again. This is Keene from the shotgun. And he hands it off to Wysocki this time. But those Blue Devils are tough up front. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage.
This drive here has been very aggressive by the Chieftain offense. They are looking to throw the ball downfield. They traditionally like to run the ball, but a little more sense of urgency to stretch the field through the pass game on this particular series.
We're inside a minute now. here in the first quarter. Blue Devils leading 7-0 over the Chieftains. The Chieftains would like to get in the end zone here before the end of the quarter. Make it a game. Let's see. Keene now from the shotgun again. Man in motion. He gives to Wysocki, and Wysocki with no room. Good penetration there by the Blue Devils into the backfield. And
that was Miles Deering, number 55. He's a captain. Nothing doing on that particular play, and it's going to set up 3rd and long.
15 seconds now. Can the Chieftains get a play off here? Let's see. 10 seconds. Keene taking a lot of time. Here's the snap. He's going deep. And here we go. Oh, just overthrows him. So right here at the end of the first quarter, the Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils are leading the Utica Chieftains by a score of 7-0. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back.
15 years and Esplendito Mexican Restaurants is still known for its great tasting, quality food. Their secret? Combining the classic taste of Jimmy's Pizza and the well-loved menu from the original Pancho's restaurant. There's daily food and drink specials and weekday happy hours. Also, stop in for Taco Tuesday or on Sunday when kids eat free. Dine in or carry out. That's Esplendito Mexican Cuisine off Mound Road in Shelby Township. Call 586-739-1070.
Okay, folks, we're back here for the second quarter now. Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils leading the Utica Chieftains 7-0 in this MAC White contest. The Blue Devils undefeated so far in the season, and the Chieftains looking for their first win. And right now, this is Marco Matowski. He's going to try the field goal, but doesn't look like it got there. So the Blue Devils will take over on the missed field goal attempt.
Well, that's a testament to the confidence Coach Marulli has in his kicker, Matowski. That was a 47-yarder.
Wow. He just didn't get it all that time. I've seen him kick him that far. But I don't know. It looked like he had good footing. It might have just been ball placement. 11:54 now left in the first half, and the Blue Devils will take over here at their own 20-yard line. And this is Downey now. He'll start from under center in the I. Wideouts to each side. And he pitches to the second back. And he looks like he's still going there over the 25-yard line. That was Rosati, it looked like, number 17.
At defensive end, McGuire Palicki does a really nice job at his right defensive end position, fighting the blocker to force the running back to cut inside, and the pursuit from the linebackers is just a little delayed.
Well, we
and
have
it creates a 6-yard gain. Chieftain
down on the field. They're tending to. And he's still down, so we're going to see who this is, if we can get an eyeball on him here. But I didn't see what happened, how he got injured or what the problem was. But looks like he's getting up under his own power here. And that's a good sign.
Go get him.
But they're going to help him off. And that was Tamati, Turner Tamati there. Looks like it could be a knee. I'm not sure, but they're carrying him now. So an unfortunate injury here for the Chieftains. And the Blue Devils now have a 2nd and about 4 from the 26-yard line. And Downey brings him up again under center from the eye. And he gives it the first back. Oh, he found a hole. And once again, Scott Rosati carries the ball and has enough for the first down for the Blue Devils. So they're on the move again, Pat.
This is just a quick trap. Nice job up front by the offensive line for the Blue Devils. The left guard here pulling to kick out, creating a seam, and nice hard running by the tailback.
So Downey going from the shotgun most of the first quarter now. He's been under center so far here, and now he goes back to the shotgun. 2 wideouts here to the right, 1 to the left. A single back. He sends in motion Doherty. Oh, and the pass is tipped, and the Chieftains intercept it, and they're over to 30, down to the 25, over to the 20, and the Chieftains will take over in good field position on the interception.
We talk a lot about the ability of Kurt Kesson. You got a chance to see the athleticism there by number 81, Kurt Kesson. The ball was tipped. He goes up to get it from his left defensive end position. He also plays tight end. And the tackler is trying to bring him down, and he uses a stiff arm to push the defender another 7-8 yards down the field before finally somebody from the Blue Devils brings him down.
Hold on now. We've got a penalty. Oh, it's against the Blue Devils. So that's going to help even more.
I think it's safe to say, Bob, that particular play will be on Kurt Kesson's highlight reel.
It'll be on mine, too. I liked it.
Dead ball. Personal foul on the defense. It's going to be half the distance.
Oh.
First down.
Boy, that's really going to give them good field position inside the 10-yard line now. So the Chieftains with an opportunity to tie the game if they can come back here, get it into the end zone, make the extra point. Keene now looking to the sideline. He's ready to go. From the shotgun. Takes the snap, hands it off. Wysocki down to about, looked like.
Number 13 carry for the Chieftains.
Oh, that was my fault. I thought it was Wysocki. Happened to be Olszewski.
Kurt Kesson takes one play off and gets some water, and he's back in the game. He does not spend much time on the sideline, and they're going to need him for this possession here. The ball on the 10-yard line, threatening to score.
Well, the Chieftains haven't had a whole lot of luck running the ball, and now that Blue Devil defense is tightening up there, down here near the goal line. So now Keene from the shotgun, 2 wide outs to the left, 1 to the right. Sends the man in motion. This time gives it off to the back, and nowhere to go again. And a flag comes in. So on 2nd down, we're going to have to see who this one is against. Holding on the Chieftains, and that's not going to help them.
This is something that can really hurt a drive.
10 yards, repeat, 2nd down.
When you have holding, when you're on the 10-yard going in.
Yeah, it marches it all the way back to the 20 now. So the Chieftains with a long row to hoe here to get that first down. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 20 from the 20. Man in motion. Oh, Keene rolls out. He's got a man open on the flat. And he's inside the 20 to the 15-yard line. So they got about 5 yards back on that play.
That's a nicely designed play right there. A little play action. They're slipping Kesson out. But Scott Rosati, the player, had the interception earlier. He comes up from his free safety position, and he reads it like a book. Comes on up to make the tackle on Kesson for minimal gain.
So with 9:15 now counting down in the 2nd quarter, 3rd down and 15 for the Chieftains. They'd like to get a score on the board here and get back in the game. And they're going to call a timeout. Chieftains take the timeout.
And we got the timeout on the field called by the Chieftains. Is the call.
Oh, no, they're saying the Blue Devils called it.
Well, they certainly want to be in the right defensive alignment with this third down. And one of the plays we've seen a lot of tonight, Bob, is Gegovic in the slot on the corner route. And they want to make sure their safeties are in the right alignment, the right position to prevent that pass play from being a touchdown.
Well, still a lot of time left here in the half. 8:59 left here in the second quarter. The Blue Devils holding on to a 7-0 lead over the Chieftains. The Chieftains with an opportunity deep in the Blue Devil territory, and now they've had a couple penalties that have really hurt them. So a big third down play here now for the Chieftains.
So we got Gegovic here in the slot, Bob, on the far side of the field. This is an alignment that lends itself to a lot of room on the corner route.
Okay, here we go. Keene now from the shotgun. And he's looking over this side. You're right. Oh, over the middle. The ball is incomplete. Looked like it hit a man in the back. I don't know if he even saw it coming.
That appeared to be a screen pass to the back, slipping up just past the line of scrimmage. And
So
fourth down, they're going to bring in Matovsky again to
Matovsky, yes.
So it looks like a 32-yarder, so much closer than the last one he kicked.
This is well within his range. They'd like to at least get some points on the board from this series. Let's see what happens here. Matovsky now with the kick. It's up. It looks long enough, and it's good. The Chieftains get 3 points back on the Blue Devils. So it's 7-3 with 8:48 remaining now in the half. And that's a little bit of a boost now for the Chieftains to get that goose egg off the scoreboard there, Pat.
Sure is, Bob. That's exactly what you want to be able to do, is when you have a turnover like that, put some points on the board. Again, just a great play by Kurt Kesson, the defensive end, making that interception to put them in great position to get points on the board. And a field goal is 3 points, and you're right. Takes that goose egg away, and the goose egg has been very familiar for this Blue Devil team. They've shut out 2 of the 3 teams they've played. And the shutout went to Utica Ford and Warren Mott the past 2 weeks. The only points they gave up was in week 1 to Detroit Renaissance. And talking to Coach Brandon before the game, and that was on a last play of the half. So it really wasn't a play that had happened on a series or anything in significant fashion.
So that's an accomplishment in itself there for the Chieftains to score against these Blue Devils. And you could tell when it left the Matovsky's foot, there was no doubt with that kick. He had the distance and the accuracy, and now he's set to kick off. Here it goes. And it's going deep, end over end, all the way back into the end zone for a touchback. A great kick by Matovsky now will allow the Blue Devils to start at their own 20-yard line. So the Chieftains now just have to find a way to stop them on defense. And we saw against Grosse Pointe North a very good defensive effort by the Chieftain defense. And I think they need to rise to the occasion very similarly tonight here against this Grosse Pointe South team.
We did indeed, Bob. It was 14-0 at the half in favor of the Chieftains 2 weeks ago here at Swinehart Field. And the defense has certainly, thus far, been doing a nice job here at home.
Oh, Downey with the pitch now to this back. He had a lot of blocking out there on that side. They had 3 wideouts, and he gets it over the 35-yard line to about the 37 for a Blue Devil first down.
Yeah, the key block on that play was by number 4 for the Blue Devils, wide receiver Will Johnson. Let's take a look at number 4, Will Johnson, on the block on the edge. Does a great job of providing more space for the running back and to allow a big gain.
So Downey now from the shotgun, man in motion. He fakes to him, keeps it himself up the middle, and Downey with about a 4-yard gain, and it resembled a draw play.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of jet sweep handoffs to the back, in particular Colin McKenna, but this is just a fake by the quarterback Downey, and he keeps it for himself. And this is just the variety that the Blue Devil offense is displaying tonight.
Just under 8 minutes now left in the half. 7-3, Blue Devils leading. Man in motion again, he fakes to him, gives to the second back, but the Chieftains snuffed this one out. There's no gain on the play. Maybe a loss of a yard.
McGuire Palicki with a really nice job from his defensive tackle position, actually defensive end position, number 55. Watch him come across the line of scrimmage to make the tackle. Palicki's another two-way player for the Chieftain team. Nice job by 55.
3rd and 5 now for the Blue Devils. This is Downey from the shotgun. And let's see what we have. Officials are okay. It's going to be a Chieftain timeout. With 7:17 left here in the first half, Blue Devils leading 7-3 over the Chieftains. They'd like to hold them. This is a big 3rd down, and the defense would really like to hold the Blue Devils here.
Absolutely, Bob. This is going to be punting territory, it looks like. So I do not think the Blue Devils will treat this as 4-down territory. So they're going to look to get past the sticks for a 1st down. And we've seen quite a repertoire of plays that the Blue Devil offense has came with. And we're going to see 2 receivers to the wide side of the field. And it looks like man press by the Chieftain D.
The ball at the 42. 3rd and 5 now for the Blue Devils. This is Downey from the shotgun. He takes the snap, and he looks deep. He's got a man. He got behind him. Oh, no. And the Blue Devils are going to score on a great pass from Downey. He finds his man over there. And the Blue Devils take a 13-3 lead here in the first half with 7:07 remaining.
Chieftains were playing bump and run man-to-man, which means the defensive cornerback here is right in the face of the wide receiver. Receiver makes a nice release off the line of scrimmage. A very well-thrown ball by Downey, and the speed of the receiver provides them with their 6 points.
So Scott Rosati will attempt the extra point here for the Blue Devils. Here's the snap. The kick is up, and it's good. So now Grosse Pointe South has a 14-3 lead here over Utica in this Mac White contest with 7:07 remaining here in the first half.
Tough play for the Chieftains, Bob. They had the Blue Devils in a 3rd and 5. Decided to come out and play man-to-man. They were likely going to be blitzing with some of their linebackers, and that man-to-man is a tough coverage if you're a corner or a safety, and that's exactly what they had on there. And it was a good ball that the quarterback Downey threw, but there have been some really nice flashes of excellence by the Chieftain defense. They just need to forget that play and put it behind them. There's a lot of football left here at Swinehart Field.
Absolutely. Only 7 minutes left here in the first half.
And we got the same trio on our kickoff here. Number 8 for the Blue Devils, Ben Gabrion.
So now Ben Gabrion will kick it off for the Blue Devils. And the Chieftains take it at their own 14. He's up over the 20 to the 25. I didn't see who was carrying the ball. That was Olszewski on the carry, and the Chieftains now start at their own 27-yard line with 7:01 remaining here in the first half. So, Pat, they really need to get something going. They have had some success passing the ball, not much running, so we'll see what happens.
And we got trips to the field here with the Gagovic stack. Let's see if they want to do a bubble screen to him, to the wide side of the field.
Oh, and we've got a lot of movement, and looks like it's going to go against the Chieftains for illegal procedure.
And here's Conference on the mound for a flag.
Dead ball. Encroachment. Defense.
Oh, well, that's a surprise. So it looked like a Blue Devil jumped offside first and drew off those Chieftains that we saw moving, which will help the Chieftains in that situation. Now it'll bring up a 1st down and 5 from the 32-yard line.
Same formation here. It's a tight bunch close to the left tackle.
There's a snap. There's the give to the back. He's trying to go around the end. Oh, he's tied up over there. And he may have gotten a yard or two up to about the 34 or 5 yard line. Let's see. And they do mark it at the 35. Brings up a 2nd down and just about 2 now for the Chieftains. They'd like to convert this and keep it alive.
Scott Rosati, safety for the Blue Devils, is quite an athlete, coming in from his free safety position to fill the alley really well, and he's a good-sized kid. Looks like he's about 6'3", 195 pounds, and likely a kid to play on Saturdays.
Well, we've got that same formation to the other side now, and Keene throws deep, but there's nobody there, and it's going to be intercepted by the Blue Devils at their own 30-yard line. He was triple covered back there. I don't know. He was trying to find that receiver in the middle of the 3 defenders, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, Blue Devil defense had this one pretty well covered, and as you can see, the ball thrown up in the air. Rosati, number 17, is pointing to his secondary mate to go get it, go catch it. You can see him pointing to the cornerback who ends up making the play and completing the interception.
Keene trying to thread the needle was unsuccessful. It's a turnover now. Blue Devils 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line. Just over 6 minutes to play in the half. And this is Downey. He just dumps it off here. And the Chieftains are able to get him down for a loss in the backfield. And that was a great play by the Chieftain defense with a loss of almost 6 yards.
McGuire Palicki, right defensive end, reads this incredibly well. He sees the quarterback dropping back, but he also has the feel that it could be a draw, and he sits back and finishes with a really nice tackle. He's got good grip over there to bring down the ball carrier.
So Downey now from the shotgun, and he's looking out here to throw on the roll. He's rolling out, and he's got one man that falls down at the 30-yard line, and that was Francis Riley, a senior, his tight end. He just couldn't keep his feet, and he gets about a yard on the play back to the 30. So it'll be a 3rd and long now for the Blue Devils with 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Chieftain defense now starting to rise to the occasion. It was just too bad they had to let that one man get behind him on that man-to-man coverage. So we'll see what happens here now. Downey from the shotgun again. He has 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Man in motion is Doherty, but he's going deep again, and he's behind him. He's got him again. Oh, my goodness. He's still on his feet. Still on his feet inside the 20-yard line.
Ryan Downey.
And right when I was talking about what happened the last time, they do it again, Pat.
You sure right there, Bob. They ran man-to-man press coverage there, and this time it was Gagovic who gets beat deep. Watch here on the man-to-man coverage. The ball is thrown very well. Gagovic is just short of the ball, and this receiver does not want to go down easy, and that's a massive gain for the Blue Devils. Another backbreaker for the Chieftain defense when they had him at 3rd and long.
So just over 4 minutes to play in the half now. The Blue Devils threatening again, and this is Downey back to throw. The Chieftains have him for a sack. Oh, a great play back there. And that's what the Chieftains need at this point. They've got to keep him out of that end zone now, under 4 minutes to play here in the half. They've had some good defensive plays, but that long pass has burned them.
Yeah, way to come back, Chieftain defense, from the long play to get the sack, and that's partially a coverage sack, which means the defensive backs did a nice job of playing their coverage and not allowing the quarterback to have anywhere to go, and thus allowing the defensive line to get pressure and get the sack.
So the Blue Devils now with a 2nd down and 16, just under 3.5 minutes to play here in the half. Downey now hands it off in the backfield, and he's got a little room out here to the right, and he's inside the 5-yard line, and there's a penalty. He was lucky to get him out of bounds before he got into the end zone. But I think it was the way he got him out of bounds that's going to hurt him here.
Chieftains had a blitz on with Hester, and he was in a perfect position to make this play, and he just slips and goes a little low and is not able to make the tackle.
Personal foul. Face mask on the defense. Half the distance, first down.
So now the Chieftains with their backs to the wall here. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the half, with the Blue Devils threatening again. They hold a 14-3 lead, and they're trying to get on the board again before the end of the half. They're in the T formation. Downey under center and gives to the back. He rolls, but the Chieftains stack him up. He doesn't have anywhere to go. That was number 23 for the Blue Devils. Brady McCarron, a senior. And the Chieftains really filled the hole there.
This is where we saw McKenna last time on the 1- and 2-yard line get the ball a lot. This is likely going to be a quick hitter, but they got full house backfield. 3 running backs, 2 tight ends in the game.
2nd and 1. Downey gives again. Same back, 23. And he's in this time. McCarron, the senior running back for the Blue Devils, scores. And that makes it 20-3 with 2:32 remaining in the half. The Blue Devils now with a commanding lead going into the locker room at halftime.
And we saw a couple big plays there, Bob, that made the difference. We had Chieftains had 3rd and 10, and it was a pass play with man-to-man coverage that got the receiver past Gagovic for a long gain. And then the long run to the right-hand side where Hester was in pretty good position to make the tackle, but just slipped.
Shaheen with the hold. Rosati kicks end over end. It's good for the Blue Devils, and they go up 21-3 now with 2:32 remaining in the first half. And that was unfortunate. The Chieftains really are stingy in the line. They're not giving up many yardage runs at all. But the Blue Devils are finding their way around the ends, and they've had a pretty good pass game here in the first half so far, Pat.
Yeah, and oftentimes with a veteran quarterback like senior Ryan Downey, when they see man-to-man bump and run coverage, they will check at the line of scrimmage to a deep pass play. And that could be potentially what they've done when they come to the line of scrimmage, and it's called a pre-snap read, where you see that the defensive backs are playing press coverage, and they may well likely have checked to a go route, which is one of the more challenging routes to cover from bump and run. And there is some speed on that offense, in particular in the wide receiver position for the Blue Devils. And so it'll be interesting to see the rest of the game on 3rd and long situations, or even 3rd and medium situations, whether the Chieftains will continue with the bump and run man-to-man coverage.
So Ben Gabriel now, the junior, will kick it off for the Blue Devils. And it's a high end-over-end kick taken at the 6-yard line. And he finds a hole. Oh, they stack him up, though, at the 27-yard line, where the Chieftains will take over with 2 minutes and 22 seconds here left in the second quarter. And Pat, I can only imagine what Coach Marulli will have to say in the locker room here at halftime. I know they have just over 2 minutes here to try to get something going into the end zone, but still they would trail by a significant margin here at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I think he's going to remind his team that they can move the ball on this Blue Devil defense, and on defense, they can stop them. They just need to prevent the big plays.
Keene now from the shotgun, takes the snap. He looks out here in the flat. Oh, and he wasn't able to hold on. That was Wysocki trying to throw a little screen. Oh, no, was that Wysocki? No, that looked like Gagovic.
That was that bunch trips look again, and they want to try and get the swing pass, the bubble route to Gagovic in space. It's just thrown a little bit in front of him, but again, they're going to put him in various positions and try to put their skilled athlete, Gagovic, in a spot where he can catch the ball and take advantage of the defense.
So Keene brings the play in from the sideline. He's from the shotgun. He has wideouts to both sides. He gives to the back, though, up the middle, and he finds a hole, still on his feet. Oh, my goodness, he's up to almost midfield and over the midfield stripe into Blue Devil territory. What a run.
Excellent job by Wysocki. Let's take a look at the balance he displays here. This is a running back drill that gets practiced often, where the running back will put his hand down to ensure that he has his balance, and what a great job by running hard, keeping his balance by Wysocki. Big gain, big first down for the Chieftains.
So we're under 2 minutes in the half now. Chieftains going without the huddle. Keene gets the play from the sideline, from the shotgun. Here's the call. The snap. He's looking again to throw, and I couldn't tell if he caught it or not. It looked like he may have, but they're calling it incomplete.
That was interesting, Bob. The referee in the middle of the field appeared to have the best angle for the view and didn't make a call, yet the sideline judge on the Chieftains side was the one who made the call, but there was this look of was there a catch or not?
I couldn't tell.
And it was kind of a late call.
Right. He may have trapped it. So that'll bring up a second down and 10. 1:42 remaining in the half. The ball just inside Blue Devil territory at their 49-yard line. Keene now looks over here to his right and throws it out of bounds, out of the reach of the intended receiver. So the Chieftains stick with that pass. Brings up a 3rd down and 10 with 1:39 remaining in the half, and they trail 21-3. Keene now brings the play in from the sideline again. I have to believe they're going to throw deep, Pat. We'll see what they decide.
I think you're right, and they have Gagovic in the slot. Keep an eye on the corner route. He's going against Rosati, and there it is.
He's going deep. He's got a man on the side. He's got it. Did he catch it in bounds? He did. Inside the Blue Devil 30-yard line. What a catch over here by Gagovic.
Great throw here by quarterback Zach Keene. They had Gagovic in the slot. He runs the corner route against the talented defensive back, Scott Rosati, and he beats him on it. And what a perfectly thrown ball. And Gagovic does a nice job of tippy-toeing to keep his feet in bounds to secure the catch.
I think everybody knew he was going to throw it. It's 1st and 10 now from the Blue Devil 28. A minute and a half left in the half. And here's the give. Oh, he's met right there as soon as he gets the ball. That Blue Devil defense has been tough to run on all night.
That was number 58, Bob, Owen Chen. This is the kid that Coach Brandon talked a lot about before the game, how talented he is, but not only talented between the lines on the football field, but was also a member of the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, and very talented with the instrument that he plays.
Wow. That's fantastic. So Keene now with a 2nd and 13. He's looking to throw again. Runs up into the pocket. Oh, and he's hit very hard. And this could be roughing the passer. I'm not sure, but flags all over the field. Unless he led with his head on that.
So when a quarterback slides like he did, and we've seen more flags on the field, but when a quarterback slides feet first, he positions himself to be in a vulnerable position, and it appears as though the refs are going to call unnecessary roughness or targeting here.
Yeah, it did look like he took a rough hit there. Exactly 1 minute to play in the half. The Chieftains desperately trying to get into the end zone to cut the Blue Devil lead.
Well, by my count, there's 5 flags on the field right now, so maybe 2 penalties.
Well, they didn't see mine. I threw it too. Everybody threw a flag that time, I think.
So they did indeed call targeting there.
Keene looks like he's okay, though. He took a hard hit. Now they're trying to decide whose flag is whose. And now they're marching it off. Oh, my goodness.
A double penalty here.
Wow. Inside the 10-yard. Oh, it's placed right at the 10-yard line. So the Chieftains get a break here at the end of the half. They would like to get it in the end zone. Keene now again from the shotgun, since his wideout's a little wider out there to the right. He has one to the left, one back. And here we go. Man in motion. Keene now looks up the middle. Boy, that was a quick hitter.
Yeah, dangerous pass. They look for a slant route there to Gegovic. Tight window indeed. And it's broken up by one of the inside linebackers. There's a lot of time left, though. 51 seconds. Chieftains need to bear down and relax. Try to put 6 on the board.
Just a rather dangerous throw over the middle, though. And it was broken up. So 51 seconds remaining in the half. 2nd down and 8 now for the Chieftains. They need to get into the end zone here.
This is territory where it could be conducive for Kurt Kesson to get a ball thrown to him. It's a big target. Keep an eye on him.
Uh-oh, and they're waving it off. So a little, yes, illegal procedure now against the Chieftains. And that didn't help. So the ball now will come back to the 14-yard line, it looks like. Chieftains have a 2nd down and 13 with 49 seconds remaining here in the half. Keene now trying to figure this out. Get the Chieftains in the end zone. He's in the shotgun. Keene looking to throw. Throws into the end zone. And a Chieftain touchdown. Boy, did they need that one.
Great throw by Zach Keene. Thread the needle right there over the middle in a really slim window. Gegovic in the slot on the right-hand side. He runs a slant route, and Zach Keene puts it right on the money. 4-6.
Bukowski now is going to try the extra point. It's 21-9 in favor of the Blue Devils. So let's see if he can put this through the uprights. The kick is up. It looks long enough, and it's high enough, and it's good. So the Chieftains come back here at the end of the half, cut the margin to 11 points with 44 seconds remaining, Pat. That was a good drive that the Chieftains were able to put together.
It was indeed, and they got a lot of help with that massive penalty that was incurred by the Blue Devils. But we're continuing to see the passing game by the Chieftains and the confidence Coach Marulli and his offensive staff have in Zach Keene under center. And we can anticipate more downfield passing come the second half. But with 44 seconds left, that is a lot of time for the Blue Devils. So they're going to do what they need to keep no more points on the board for the Blue Devils.
And the Chieftains now have scored more points than the first 3 teams that the Blue Devils have played this season. So that's an accomplishment as well. Now, Matovsky, the ball on the tee. He's ready to kick it off here. 44 seconds remaining. They don't want him to run this one back. Let's see what happens. And he kicks it deep. And it's going into the end zone for a touchback. He didn't even give him a chance to run that one back. So with 44 seconds left in the half, the Blue Devils leading 21-10. They'll take over at their own 20-yard line.
So it's likely here, Bob, that the Chieftains will be playing a prevent style defense with their cornerbacks and safeties staying back to keep everything in front of them. This is usually not man-to-man press defensive secondary time.
And they're flooding the field over there to the left. Downey now from the shotgun. Let's see what he has in mind. And they're taking a lot of time here. Downey now looks that way. He's got a man. And he breaks free. And he's going to be close. Looks like he may have gotten that first down.
In addition to that, he got out of bounds, so the clock has stopped.
39 seconds left in the half. And that'll bring a 2nd down and 3 situation for the Blue Devils from their own 27-yard line. But he had a lot of blockers out to that side of the field after he caught the ball.
That's the Blue Devil MO on the perimeter, is quick bubble screens and blocking by the receivers.
Now he's looking deeper this time. Uh-oh. Let's see what happens. And he breaks it up over there. Looked like he had a chance to intercept it. But every time he throws to that corner, to that side, it gets a little scary.
Yeah, good positioning by Gegovic. He was on top of the wide receiver, staying deeper than the deepest and wider than the widest, and that's very effective defensive back technique that Gegovic just displayed.
So we have all 3s up there right now. 3rd down and 3 with 33 seconds remaining in the half. The Blue Devils now from their own 27 from the shotgun. And Downey keeps it. I don't know what he was trying to do there as the clock keeps running now.
The Chieftains have a timeout, too. They can call a timeout.
Well, he got the first down. The clock stopped.
You're right, Bob. They did get the first. I thought it might have been a little short, which.
So I'll bet we'll see a full series of passes here to work that clock down here at the end of the half. Blue Devils leading the Chieftains 21-10. And actually, Pat, this has been a very exciting game so far in this MAC White division.
Well, especially going into this, the Blue Devils, as we've mentioned in here in the broadcast, have only given up 7 points in their first 3 games, posting 2 shutouts their last 2 weeks versus Warren Mott last week and 2 weeks ago versus Utica Ford. And when we look at the head-to-head with Utica Ford, our Chieftains lost to them last week 34-6, and in week 2 the Blue Devils stomped them 28-0.
Okay, here we go now. Downey from the shotgun. Oh, he's got a lot of receivers this time. And he keeps it. Oh, he's got an open field over there to the right. Let's see. And he rolls around the left end. And did he get another first down? Yes, he did. So on the keeper that time, he rolls out with 18 seconds left here in the first half. Now the ball at the Blue Devil 42. It'll be 1st and 10. So he had a lot of action with a lot of receivers, and I think that's what happened. Everybody was following the receivers, and Downey saw the open field, and he kept the ball. So this time now, 3 again to the right. Downey in the shotgun. He's looking deep. He checks off the man here in the flat. Oh, he's got an open man over midfield. And it's going to be Looks like another Blue Devil first down. With 9 seconds now remaining in the first half, they get into Chieftain territory.
Yeah, good presence and poise by Ryan Downey, the quarterback. They ran a fake bubble look to the wide side of the field, and they had a high out route by the second receiver with a go route by the third receiver, and that deep out was there. And nice throw by Downey to the open man.
So we're in the closing seconds here of the first half with the Blue Devils leading 21-10 over the Chieftains. And they're moving the ball. They're now into Chieftain territory. And after this timeout now, they don't have any left. The Chieftains have one left. So 1st and 10 now for the Blue Devils from the Chieftain 47. They've got the trips out here, the short side this time, Pat. Downey from the shotgun. And,
double pass.
Yes. Uh-oh, he had a man wide open, and he didn't see him. Oh, my goodness. 3 seconds left now in the half. The Chieftains were lucky that he did not see him deep in their own territory, uncovered.
Yeah, left tight end over here. Riley France in his tight end position came streaking down the middle of the field, and Downey threw it to Patrick Doherty for a double pass. Must not have saw him wide open down the middle and just tried to get a few yards.
So it turned into a single pass, fortunately for the Chieftains, or they would have been in deep here going into the locker room at the half. 2nd down and 6 now with 3 seconds remaining. And this is Downey from the shotgun. Wide outs to both sides. He is looking deep. No, he keeps it up the middle. Oh, here's a pitch. And he's going to be taken down by the Chieftains before the half as time runs out. So what an exciting first half here in this MAC White Division game with the Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils leading the Utica Chieftains 21-10. Stick around, folks, for second half action.
Looking for a great time with family and friends? Roll on over to the new rink. We offer roller skating, games, an arcade with prizes, and even an extreme bounce zone for the kids. Let us host your next birthday party or reserve your private event in one of our banquet rooms. Check out Le Rev Dance Company and 2SP Sports Performance located right inside our building. Schedule your next event with us. Visit the new Rink Roller Sports Complex on Van Dyke, just south of 23 Mile Road in Shelby Township.
15 years and Esplendito Mexican Restaurants is still known for its great tasting, quality food. Their secret? Combining the classic taste of Jimmy's Pizza and the well-loved menu from the original Pancho's restaurant. There's daily food and drink specials. Also, stop in for Taco Tuesday or on Sunday when kids eat free. Dine in or carry out. That's Esplendito Mexican Cuisine off Mound Road in Shelby Township. Call 586-739-1070.
Well, welcome back for second half action here in this MAC White contest this evening at Swinehart Field. I'm Bob Boucher along with Pat Cavanaugh, and I'll tell you, Pat, it was a pleasure listening to that Chieftain band at halftime. They got such a round of applause after all of those Motown classics, and I really enjoyed it.
This is such a wonderful night for Utica Community Schools with just a wonderful turnout of the fan base. We had a dance team performing, the band performing, the cheer team. Just a great community event here at Swinehart Field, and Utica Community Schools is at its finest here under the lights. Friday night football. You gotta love an evening like this, and quite a good product on the field as well. 21-10, and 10 points is the most that this Blue Devil team from Grosse Pointe South has given up this year, only yielding 7 points in 3 games. And you got to see a lot of offensive prowess from the Chieftains, and hopefully they can continue that with getting the ball here in the second half.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that was a very exciting first half. A lot of action, a lot of people holding their breath and sighs of relief and all kinds of emotions here in the first half. But the Chieftains come out on the short end so far. It's 21 Blue Devils, 10 Chieftains. But the Blue Devils are going to kick it to the Chieftains. They'll get the ball here to start the second half. And now this is for the Blue Devils, Ben Gabriel again to kick it off. And here we go, folks. And the kick is deep, end over end to the 5-yard line. He's up over the 15 to the 20. He's got a seam. Now he's over the 30-yard line to almost the 35. A great run back there.
Great return here as we see the replay. Take a look at number 81, Kurt Kesson. Another pancake block on special teams. And the return hurdles him and the defender that he pancaked to put on his block. Again, Kurt Kesson doing a great job on all facets of the game, including special teams.
So Zach Keene now will start from the shotgun here to begin the second half. He sends a man in motion, gives it off to Wysocki. Wysocki with nowhere to go, tackled for a loss in the backfield. And those Blue Devils look fired up here after coming out of the locker room after the half on defense.
Excellent penetration there by the right defensive side of the line from the Blue Devils. You're right, Bob. Firing out of the gate, creating a new line of scrimmage, and the penetration there was key.
A loss.
Also a 4-yard loss.
Yeah, a loss of 4 on the play. So second down and 14 now from the Chieftain 31. Okay, we had a little adjustment here, and now we're ready to go. Just over 11 minutes now left in the third quarter. And now they're shouting in the play from the sideline. Keene has it from the shotgun. Here's the snap. He gives again to the back, and he does find a hole this time, but doesn't get quite back to the original line of scrimmage. So that'll bring up a third down already for the Chieftains here to start the third quarter. And I thought they might open it up a little bit, trailing by 11 points, but they've stuck to the ground game.
It's going to be really important, Bob, that the Chieftains can avoid and minimize the penalties this half. Versus a tough team like the Blue Devils of Grosse Pointe South, you have to certainly avoid having any penalties to set you back or impact a drive. And they're going to need to play mistake-free football from here on out in hopes of getting a W tonight.
Okay, a big third down now for the Chieftains. 3rd and 12 from their own 33. Keene from the shotgun. 1 wide out to the right, 2 to the left. Man in motion. He's keeping and rolling. He's got his man. Oh, and he's tackled right away at the 35-yard line. Will bring up a 4th down. They're unable to convert here, and it'll bring up a punting situation now.
Yeah, here you got Gegovich on his own on the right-hand side, and Kurt Kesson is right tight end position. He runs a deep out, but gets tackled immediately and is short for the first down.
So Madison Barch back to punt now for the Chieftains. And she's waiting for the snap. Here it is. She gets away a nice kick. It's high, end over end. Goes out of bounds, though, at the Blue Devil 40-yard line, where they will take over. So it looked like it might have gone a little bit off the side of her foot, but it was not returnable anyway, and the Blue Devils now will bring out the offense with 9:53 left here in the third quarter. And they hold a commanding lead, 21-10.
This will be an important series for the Chieftain defense. Can they stop this Blue Devil offense early? And we It's going to be important that the confidence of the Chieftain defense stays at a high level, because they're going to need to get the ball turned back over to the offense as much as possible the rest of the way.
So quarterback number 2, Ryan Downey, now for the Blue Devils from the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. Oh, no. He just switches sides. Oh, and a pitch out. He's got some open room there. And they finally are able to stop him, but a nice gain of about 6 or 7 yards.
Nice job by DeMarco Davis coming up from his safety position, number 5. Let's take a look at him coming up from his safety position on the option pitch. Fills the lane really well and does a nice job of securing the tackle, and I think they even blew the whistle a little early. But great fit by number 5, DeMarco Davis.
Well, they gave him a gain of 8 on the play, 2nd and 2 now. The Blue Devils, and do they have him back there? No, he throws. He's got a man, but he dropped it. And let's see, that was Nick Fannin, wasn't able to hold on to it. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 now for the Blue Devils from their own 48-yard line.
That's a tough throw by the senior quarterback, Ryan Downey. He's rolling to his left, which is a more difficult pass for a quarterback when they're right-handed, but puts the ball in a nice spot. Fanning's just not able to come down with it.
So here's Downey from the shotgun. 2 wideouts here to the left. And it is a pass, and he caught the ball but was tackled. Oh, they're calling it incomplete, I think. That was A.J. Benson, the junior for the Blue Devils. So the Chieftains hold them now. And that'll bring up a punting situation for the Blue Devils. Let's see if they do punt. Yes, they will.
Chieftain coaches are going to be yelling to their defensive unit to watch the fake.
So Ben Gabriel back to punt. And he does punt. Oh, he gets this one away. And, he slips down and doesn't get a chance to run it back for the Chieftains. So they'll take over at their own 15-yard line with a long way to come back here against the Blue Devils with 8:51 remaining in the 3rd quarter. There's still a lot of time to play, though, Pat.
Yeah, their key offensive player, Christian Gegovic, number 2, he appears to be limping a little bit, not running with his traditional gait. So it appears as though he might be dinged up a little bit. He's an active kid playing on all 3 phases on this Chieftain team. So hopefully he can get back to near full speed.
Keene from the shotgun, 3 split out to the left, 1 to the right. He gives it off to the back, though, and nowhere to go again. The Chieftains cannot get anything going here with the running game, but they may have given him a yard on the play. Bring up a 2nd down and 9 from their own 17-yard line. 8.5 minutes to play now in the 3rd quarter. And the Blue Devils are really tough up the front there. Really hard to run on, Pat.
Yeah, that up front, Nick Fannin, Owen Chen, Miles Daring, a captain, and John Popolowski. Very stout defensive line that pursues the ball very well sideline to sideline.
Keene from a passing formation. He does throw this time out to the left, but short of the receiver. The intended receiver was nowhere near the ball. Just under 8 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Brings up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 9 now from their own 17. And we thought that's what they needed to do was pass, but that one didn't work.
Yeah, no, they really wanted to try and get a few yards on 1st down with running the football, and when you only get a yard and you get an incomplete pass on 2nd down, it positions you to be 3rd and 9, 3rd and long, which the offensive playbook has to be a little bit opened up in this type of situation.
Keene now from the shotgun, pass formation, and he looks back to his other side, and oh my goodness, what a defensive play. He caught the ball with nowhere to go.
Yeah, take a look at number 23, Brady McCarron here. It's almost as if he knew the play before it was snapped. He read this one perfectly. It was an excellent position. Snuffed this one out. 4th down for the Chieftains.
So Madison Barch now stands just inside the end zone to punt this one away. It's a good snap. And once again, it goes over to the side of the field about the 35-yard line of the Chieftains, where the Blue Devils will take over in good field position. Not really what the Chieftains had in mind here early in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, short field for the Blue Devil offense. Getting the ball at the 35-yard line. Up 21-10. A field goal in this situation would put them up by 2 touchdowns, but let's see what the Blue Devil offense decides to do. They've showed a lot of balance with this offensive run and pass.
So Ryan Downey in the shotgun. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. Downey now rolling, and he's still got it. He's down into the 10-yard line almost. Inside the 15 anyway.
The Blue Devils just outmanned him on the right-hand side. They were looking to run option, and in an option look, they're looking to pitch it off an outside perimeter defender. There was no one there, so Downey just kept running the ball to pick up a massive gain there. And as we talked about earlier in the game, it becomes a numbers game on the perimeter, and the Blue Devil offense is just trying to put more people on the side than the defenders are there for the Chieftains.
Yes, you could tell he had the trailing back as the option. This time he's under center, and he gives it around the right end to, it looked like, McCarron. So the Blue Devils on the roll again. Brings up a 2nd down and 6 with the ball at the 10-yard line. Chieftains now got to find a way to them them here.
The Blue Devils coming with their heavy set, 3 backs, double tight end.
And same play. He got a good block inside the 10. He's down to almost the 5-yard line. Again, it was McCarron.
Yeah, this is just power football right off the tackle. Let the big boys up front move the line of scrimmage, which is what the Grosse Pointe South offensive line is doing. That's just pure execution.
Yep, they've been able to do that at will. Under 6 minutes in the 3rd quarter. That full house backfield again. Downey under center. Once again, same play, but Chieftains, they wrap them up this time for, doesn't look like any gain.
Excellent job by the defense here on securing the edge, forcing the running back to cut it up and nowhere to go with penetration by the defensive line and backers from the Chieftains.
The ball resting at the Chieftain 4-yard line. 2nd down now for the Blue Devils. They line up the same way. Downey under center, and they run the same play, only in the interior this time. Oh, looked like he got a block, and he gets in there for the Blue Devils score with 5 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Grosse Pointe South goes up 27-10 on the Chieftains.
Really like the way the offensive line from Grosse Pointe South finished on that play. The running back was held up a little bit, but the offensive line continued to push back the D-line of the Chieftains, and just a little seam is all the back needed for that 2nd and final push to get in.
So Rosati will attempt the extra point now for the Blue Devils. Here's the snap, the kick is up, end over end, and it's good. So the Blue Devils add another one, makes it 28-10 now. And it really looks like a tough task for the Chieftains to hold the Blue Devils. They have a very potent offense there, Pat.
Yeah, and the tough part about that series right there was getting the ball at about the 35-yard line. So it puts the Chieftains in a really tough position, and it allows the Blue Devils to be a little more aggressive. And the big play on that last possession was that option that Downey kept. And they had trips to one side of the field, 2 wide receivers with a tight end, and the linebacker or alley player for the Chieftains had not walked out of the box to be there for the option, and Downey was able to get a long 20-yard run and put it inside the red zone, and 5 or 6 plays later equate to a Blue Devil touchdown.
So this is the junior. Ben Gabriel kicks it to the 10-yard line, and the Chieftains are able to get it up to the 30. So he gets about 20 yards on the run back, where the Chieftains now will have the ball with just under 5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter, and they trail by 18 points, 28-10.
Still a lot of time for the Chieftains. They can put together a few nice series and give Zach Keene protection. He might be able to put together a few nice scoring drives.
Keene from the shotgun, the pass over the middle. He's got his man, and close to the first down, near the 40-yard line. That was a good play. Kesson on the reception. So that'll bring up second and short. The ball at the Chieftain 38-yard line. Just under 4.5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Keene again from the shotgun. But he gives it to, looks like Wysocki. Oh, and he breaks it. And look at this. To the 40, the 45. Oh, my goodness. What a run.
Outstanding run by Tyler Wysocki, number 7. Nick Fannin from his, Owen Chen from his right defensive end position comes down the line of scrimmage, is there to try and wrap up Wysocki, but his legs keep churning and he keeps running hard down the sideline for a huge pickup, and that's exactly what this Chieftain offense needs.
That lit a spark, Pat. I think that got him excited. A great run by Wysocki. He broke it. Keene now from the shotgun, 3, split out to his left, and he throws over there, and he's got his man, makes a nice cut, and he gets about 5-6 yards on the play. So the Chieftains now trying to put something together here as they are moving the ball on the Blue Devils.
It's just a simple bubble screen to Gegovic with that tight trips bunch look. Yeah, just trying to put the ball in his hands in space. Nice 4-yard pickup for the Chieftain offense.
So Keene brings the play in from the sideline. Oh, now he's going to double check here. Oh, he dropped something. And he brings him up. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left here in the third quarter. Chieftains threatening. Keene now hands it off, but he cuts it into the middle where there isn't any room. And those Blue Devils were able to round him up. So still at the 30-yard line. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage, was Wysocki.
Yeah, the linebackers for the Blue Devils do a nice job of reading their keys, and they've been putting the back away from the trips look. The tendency has been to run the ball to that back. And the linebackers for Blue Devils did a nice job.
Got a man over the middle. He's got the ball. It could be enough for the first down. A big scrum now. And they may have pushed him forward far enough. He needed to cross the 25-yard line, and he did. They're moving the chains. So the Chieftains keep the momentum going here.
Terrific catch here by Kirk Kesson. Good ball skills, strong hands, catching this ball over the middle, securing the catch, protecting the football, and there's a lot of hats from the Blue Devils trying to strip the ball away from him. But nothing doing, and first down for the Chieftains, and the drive continues.
Yeah, he fought his way forward to get that first down now. Keene with trips here on the short side, but he gives it to Wysocki around the left end, and Wysocki may have 3 or 4 yards. Let's see where they mark it. Just under 2 minutes now in the third quarter. So they're chipping away here on the Blue Devils, trying to go around the end because there isn't a whole lot of room up the middle. Mixing in a couple pass plays.
Yeah, offensive line for the Chieftains. This is a really good unit, working really hard up front. Zach Dries, Joe Ducey, McGuire Palicki, Bryce Cotellis, and Gary Branch. It's a unit that doesn't get a lot of attention, but they're doing a great job.
And that time Keene kept it, but there wasn't anywhere to go. So just over a minute to play here in the third quarter. The Chieftains trailing 28-10. And they would like to score here. Under a minute now. Keene brings them up from the shotgun. One split out to the left. 3 to the right. Keene looking to throw, and he does to the right. Oh, overthrows everybody. And it's a good thing.
Keene's pass intended for number 35 on the right side, John
So now at a 4th and 7, we might have another field goal attempt here. I'm not sure. Yes.
Here comes Matofsky.
It looks like it.
This will be about a 40-yarder, 39, 40-yarder.
Okay. It's within his range.
Might call it a 30, 38-yarder here.
So Marco Matofsky now attempting the field goal for the Chieftains. Oh, it's a little dribbler on the snap. And it looked like the Blue Devils recovered. So he didn't really get a chance to kick the ball. It was a bad snap that bounced all the way back to the ball handler, the holder, where the Blue Devils now will take over at at their own 30-yard line. 29.7 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Coach Marulli knows he's got to get 3 scores, so one way to get that score now is to kick the field goal, and unfortunately it was a mishandled snap, low kick, and blocked.
So Ryan Downey from the shotgun. He's got one split way out to the right. Here's a man in motion, and he gives it to him around the right end. He's got a seam. Oh, and the Chieftains stop him, but it looks like he picked up the first down. And that'll move the chains for the Blue Devils as he got it, looked like over the 40-yard line to the 42.
Nice perimeter blocking here on the offensive right-hand side for the Blue Devils. Again, just trying to get the ball on the edge, securing the edge. Another first down.
So the clock winds down here now at the end of the third quarter. And that'll do it. So the Blue Devils will go into the fourth quarter leading the Chieftains 28-10, and we'll be right back.
Looking for a great time with family and friends? Roll on over to the new rink. We offer roller skating, games, an arcade with prizes, and even an extreme bounce zone for the kids. Let us host your next birthday party or reserve your private event in one of our banquet rooms. Check out Le Rev Dance Company, and 2SP Sports Performance located right inside our building. Schedule your next event with us. Visit the new Rink Roller Sports Complex on Van Dyke, just south of 23 Mile Road in Shelby Township.
Okay, folks, welcome back. We're ready for fourth quarter action, and it's been a relatively exciting game so far, but the Chieftains haven't been able to find the right combination to put together here for a score against the Blue Devils. Now a man in motion, that's number 1, Kevin McCarron, and he's still going.
Yeah, the defensive end over there, Kurt Kesson, was in pretty good position, forced the running back inside, and then he met a couple stutter steps to his left and bursted out for a big gain. That's nice patience by the Blue Devil running back.
A little crosstalk going on here, but that's okay. We can deal with that, and we're doing okay now. So the Blue Devils into Chieftain territory. It's 1st and 10 from the Chieftain 43. Ryan Downey now sends that McCarron in motion again, but he pitches the other way, and the Chieftains seem to have him. They do, but he gets inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line before they are able to get him down. So it turns out to be a nice gain on the play.
Good hustle by Jordan Hester, number 23, the linebacker, coming up on the play and chases back down with good pursuit to finish.
So the clock is winding down now on the Chieftains. They're trying to stop the Blue Devils from adding any more to the score here. Downey from the shotgun, McCarron in motion again, but he keeps it up the middle, and Downey with a big hole. He's under the 20-yard line before he's run out of bounds there. And that play's worked for him a few times tonight.
Well, they've been pushing the perimeter with the jet sweep throughout the game, and they faked it that time, which created a nice seam up the middle, and they got some good blocking up the middle. Ricky Marcette, the center there for Grosse Pointe South, creates a nice big hole, and Downey does the rest for a nice 15, 20-yard gain.
Well, he did a lot of running that time. He ran 15, 20 yards back over the side of the field, brings the play back in now. Ryan Downey from the shotgun, 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. The man in motion, McCarron again. And he gives it off, this time to his back up the middle, number 27, Connor McKenna, the senior for the Blue Devils.
There's a lot of two-way players for the Chieftains, and this is where their off-season conditioning comes into play on a hot, steamy night like tonight. It's even hotter on the turf. This is when your off-season workouts and the winter conditioning and preseason camp comes into play these Friday nights under the hot weather.
But McCarron goes in motion again. This time, Downey keeps it again up the middle, and looks like he got another 3 or 4 yards. So 10 minutes now left in the game. And the Chieftains would really like to stop him here, get the ball back without the Blue Devils scoring. So it's going to be 3rd and short. Ball at the Chieftain 10-yard line. And it looks like the Blue Devils substituting here. And I think there was a mix-up with the players, so they're going to take a timeout. With just under 9.5 minutes left in the game, and the Blue Devils leading 28-10 over the Chieftains. They've really shown a lot. It looks like they had the Chieftains well scouted, I think, for this game.
Yeah, they had a pretty nice game plan in mind here, which when we think about the first half and first quarter in particular, they wanted to put the ball on the perimeter with a pass game, quick bubble screen, the quick jet sweeps. But they also noticed and have their tendencies of running the ball inside and open up the pass game as needed. But this is a pretty balanced Blue Devil offense, and it always helps to have a senior quarterback under center and a 1,000-yard rusher from last year as your tailback.
Well, Downey brings them up. It's 3rd and 2 from the Chieftain 10. He's going to go with that full house backfield under center. And Downey gives it off to, looked like McCarron. There's 2 McCarrons in the game. Brady, number 23, and his brother Kevin, number 1.
Tackle by number 7, Tyler Wysocki.
It's going to be pretty close here. Bob, they're not going to give it to him. So,
okay.
4th down, it looks like the Blue Devils are not deciding to kick.
No, they're going to go for it. So this is Downey under center. He gives it to McCarron. McCarron with a big hole. And he scores for the Blue Devils. Boy, it looked like he could drive a truck through that one.
Untouched, Bob. Left side of the offensive line. Just the down block created a massive hole and a massive opportunity for their running back to put 6 more points on the board.
So with 8:40 remaining in the game, the Blue Devils go up 34-10 on the Chieftains. And now Ben Gabriel will attempt the extra point.
Scoop back, D, scoop back.
Snap is high, but he gets it away. And the extra point is good for the Blue Devils. So now that makes the score 35-10. I'll tell you, Pat, that was very impressive, though, for the Blue Devils in their running game. When they got close to the goal line like that, they were able to really stick it to the Chieftains and make some big holes for their running backs.
Yeah, they looked really fresh out there. You know, as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of two-way players for the Chieftain teams, and frankly, a lot of guys that play on both sides of the ball and on special teams. And the offensive line for the Blue Devils certainly didn't look tired there on that last drive.
Well, that's for sure, and the score indicates that. So they're getting ready to kick off to the Chieftains again. Ben Gabriel. And we're ready to go. Another high end over end kick. He takes it at the 12, cuts it back, and they've got him wrapped up. He gets it just over the 20-yard line where the Chieftains now will take over again. With just over 8.5 minutes left in the game. And isn't this about the time we see maybe some other players get in there to give those regulars a rest that go both ways?
I think you're right, Bob. Some of the starters are coming off to the sideline. DeMarco Davis, Kirk Kesson. And we're going to see some new faces out there on the offensive unit for the Chieftains.
Keene gives it off to Wysocki, cuts it back, and oh, he's hammered right there. Not much room at all. And those Blue Devils have really been tough to run on in tonight's game. They were able to break a couple, but the Blue Devils have held strong. Eight minutes left in the game. Keene brings the play in from the sideline. And he sends one out to the left. We have two here to the right. Oh, high snap. Gives it to Wysocki. Wysocki finds a hole around the end over there, but maybe only gains a yard or two. So that will bring up a 3rd and long. The ball at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, Zach Keene, the quarterback, remains in the game. So from a passing continuity standpoint, we'll see if they open it up and throw the ball now.
Well, they almost need to. It looks like 3rd and 8 from their own 24. Keene in the shotgun. He has two split out here to the left, one over to the right, but it's that same play. And it hasn't really worked for them all night. They stuck with it. And now Madison Barch will be forced to punt again for the Chieftains. And she needs to get a good one away. We don't want to give the Blue Devils good field position again this late in the game, as they lead already 35-10. They've shown a lot of versatility here on the offensive side of the ball.
Bob, this is definitely a game that Coach Morelli and his coaching staff were hoping to get a W, and we still have 6 minutes to go, but their next 2 weeks, they're going to be on the road, heading to Lakeview next Friday, and then the following Friday they're going to Stevenson to play, so they won't be back here at Swinehart Field until October 5th when they face off against Warren Mott, which is a team that Grosse Pointe South played just last week and beat 38-0.
So the Chieftains here coming in the middle of the schedule, they still got a lot of football to play and a tough schedule. 6:15 left in the game. Madison Barch back to punt for the Chieftains. She's at her own 10-yard line, and this is a high kick. It doesn't get quite to midfield, but it bounces over midfield, takes a Chieftain bounce inside the 50 down to the 45-yard line of the Blue Devils, where the Blue Devil offense will take the field once more.
Well, and speaking of this Blue Devil team, they will be next week facing off against Port Huron at their place, and then returning home to play Anchor Bay, which was the team they beat last year and allowed them to win the MAC White. This is a football team under the leadership of Coach Tim Brandon that's been in the playoffs the past 8 of their last 9 seasons. And if all things pan out as we would likely expect, they'll be 4-0 after tonight and on pace to get that pivotal 6th win and get an automatic bid into the playoffs.
So the coach with a very successful tenure getting his team into the playoffs that often, and they're showing it tonight. This is McCarron again. That time Kevin McCarron on the carry. But the Chieftains wrap them up, and it looked like a loss on the play of a yard. So they're not giving up anyway.
This is an interesting team, though, this Grosse Pointe South team, because talking to Coach Brandon before the game, he talked about the fact that they don't have school of choice in Grosse Pointe, and they also don't have in-district transferring. So some of the teams that they end up playing have school choice and kids from outside their school boundaries are able to play on their football team. That's not the case with this Blue Devil team.
So this is the neighborhood right here. These guys must play together all the time. And this is Downey now with the give again. Nowhere to go. I think they're just running out the clock. There's 5 minutes left to play, just under 5 now in the game. And I think the Blue Devils are content with this 35-10 lead here over the Chieftains.
Yeah, they'll likely keep the ball on the ground, but speaking a little bit more about Coach Brandon and his team, he said we have 4.8 square miles of our school boundary, and whoever lives in those square mileage, they go and play for our team. They can't play for anybody else, and we can't have anybody else play on our team. But he's pretty happy and proud of the team he's got. He says he's got 47 kids on his roster, and they all come out every day to practice and work extremely hard, and they certainly came out to play tonight.
Well, they must be close-knit. They've played together since junior high, and so they all know each other very well. So Downey now is going to keep it. And he keeps it around the end over there. Well, actually, that would look like the reserve quarterback, Alex Shaheen, number 6, who's into the game now. So they're giving Downey a well-deserved rest as he's played a fine game, had a lot of nice runs on the keepers, and was right on the money with a few of those long passes tonight, Pat.
Yeah, this is the time of the game where the backups get a chance to play and shine under the bright lights. They may not get a whole lot of reps or time when the game is close, but when you have a little bit of a lopsided game like this, some of the underclassmen or guys that don't get to play as much get to play. And let's keep an eye on left cornerback for the Chieftains, number 34, Sebastian Shamam. He's a kid, when I talked to Coach Marulli before the game, was a player that worked extremely hard each and every day at practice, provides outstanding looks as a scout team player, and Coach Marulli couldn't say enough great things about this kid. He's a junior wide receiver, defensive back. Again, Sebastian Shamam, key player that will be back here next year for this Chieftain team.
So it looks like the Blue Devils have decided to punt. It looked like they might have gone for it there at first, but now they're hurrying up, and here's the snap, and it's a pretty good punt down to the inside the Chieftain 20-yard line with just inside 3 minutes to play here in the game. The Blue Devils leading by the score of 35-10 over the Chieftains. And they've really shown a lot of class here tonight. I think I've seen a lot of speed, a lot of talent, a lot of versatile players.
It's going to be a tough team to beat in the Mac White. One of their big rivals last year was Anchor Bay, and Anchor Bay moved up to the red, and Warren Mott moved down, and they took it to Warren Mott last week, as I've mentioned, 38-0. So it'll be very interesting to see who can contend for the title versus this Blue Devil team.
Well, we had a look at Grosse Pointe North as well, and that's a pretty good inter-city rivalry they're going to have going there. Up to the 20. Now inside 3 minutes.
26 for the Chieftains. Diego Gomez. Number 84, John Clark coming out the bottom of the pile.
Well, the border war between Grosse Pointe North and Grosse Pointe South, that will be on October 12th at North. And that could end up being the Mac White Championship. That could get determined there.
Yeah, a couple of evenly matched ball clubs there. I don't know, from what I've seen, though, South looks like they have the edge on offense. But North has a stout defense, so that could be a pretty good game. And here's the give. Nowhere to go. Swarming defense from the Blue Devils. Inside 2 minutes in the game to play.
A lot of backups in the game for the Blue Devil defense. And a lot of enthusiasm in that unit. Good opportunity for backups to get some good quality reps, some game reps. They work hard throughout the week of practice and don't always get the opportunity to be spotlighted during a game, and here's their chance.
So Keene now, in looks like pass formation from the shotgun. 3rd down and 10. But he gives it off to Wysocki, and he makes a little break around the right side, and it's not going to be enough. They bring up a 4th down again. And they're going to have to turn the ball over with just about a minute to play in the game. So Madison Barch has had a lot of work here in this game as the punter. And now, under 40 seconds, counting down, 35. She's probably just going to get the punt away, and that'll be it. And it's a high kick, and it takes a Chieftain bounce, and they down it at the at the Chieftain 45-yard line with 17.3 seconds remaining in the contest in this MAC White Conference game. And it's really been all Grosse Pointe South. The Blue Devils have really taken it to the Chieftains this evening.
Well, Coach Marulli and his staff will go back, I'm sure, tomorrow and watch the tape, find out some of the areas they can improve on, what are some things they did well that they can build on. But this is a well-coached football team that is looking to get better each and every day. And I'm sure he'll be able to rally his troops up for the next 2 games, being on the road again at Lakeview and then in 2 weeks at Stevenson.
So they'll lick their wounds and still in search of their first win. Looks like they're just going to down the ball, and that's exactly what happens. He takes the knee as the clock winds down. So that's going to do it this evening, folks. With the final score, the Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils 35 and the Utica Chieftains 10. For Pat Cavanaugh, I'm Bob Boucher, and thanks so much for joining us here on Shelby TV Sports. We'll see you next time.
We're seeing 2 teams again.